Ladies and gentlemen, this is PSY-POD number 6. Can you see the sub 6? Can't you see it?
Right.
The 6?
Yeah.
You can see it, right? How's everybody doing? This is PSY-POD number 6. Joined like always with Kinle. And today our esteemed guest, Dawa. How's it going?
I'm really confused as to why I'm here because this guy just called me up yesterday and he's like, "Hey, Dawa, you wanna come over?" I was like,
yes, this is how this
See,
is.
the podcast's definition is that we don't even try.
Yeah, we don't try.
So we don't try.
We just been blessed with set magically. We just very lucky.
We have fallen into the lap of
Hence,
luxury.
hence why we're called PSY-POD, a podcast about nothing.
Right.
This
Well,
is about nothing.
if I know anything about the entertainment business, it's that production does not always correlate with success. Right. Because
Thank you. Thanks. Thanks.
I'm not saying this is cheap. But
It's cheap.
no, I'm just saying it's got like
What?
rustic,
Oh God, he used the buzzword. Like everyone likes to use the word. Now what you're gonna say? It's organic.
Yeah, it looks like
It's not poor. It's just economically challenged.
Yeah, it's economically disenfranchised.
yeah, it's got that
It's got a negative cash flow.
it's got that homemade vibe.
Thank you. It's DIY podcast at its finest.
Yeah, it makes it feel like anyone can do this.
It's organic.
Yes, that's right. Anyone can do this. If you're watching and you're listening, you can. Just need to
Yeah.
find a friend with a studio and a lot of good equipment.
Yeah, you don't need a 10,000-15,000 mic
Or a camera.
or a camera
Or a green screen.
or a green screen.
You just need money. Okay, Dawa, introduce yourself.
Hi.
Who are you and what do you do?
Hi, I'm Dawa.
Okay.
I'm doing my undergrad, but I also part-time as like a graphics and website designer.
So that's what you do.
That's what you do. You just know that now?
No, I've always asked him what he does, but he's never really given me a clear answer.
You just have to guess, huh? Guess
I've
around.
been been under the presumption that he has been whoring himself out to lonely rich dashos.
Okay. That's how you got the
And he is not denying it, so I suppose he is whoring himself.
I was about to
He'll
interject.
choose to plead the fifth in that one.
No, I mean, I'd
There is no
interject.
fifth in this
There's no
country's
fifth in this country, yeah,
constitution.
there's
but
no-
go on.
okay.
Well, I was gonna interject and say, well, if that were the case, I'd have a Prado and not a bike.
Then you'll be then I'll change my career then if that's the case.
I do know a few lonely dashos.
Right.
Okay, let's not go there. Let's not go there.
No, but when we say dasho here, we mean anyone who's rich and successful, right? Because one thing that's really interesting about the whole it's something that irks me is Bhutanese the thing that we call every rich and successful person a dasho.
Yeah.
Which to me personally is annoying
Me
because
too.
I think the term dasho should only be
Yes.
it should only be given to the person who has been given a red kabne by the king.
Yes.
Anyone else is, yes, they are skilled and they got to where they got to, but just calling anyone dasho just seems like it sort of waters down
Yes,
the title that
yes.
the king has conferred onto somebody
agree
who
with you.
actually deserves it.
100%.
So what else would we call them?
You call sir.
Sugar daddies.
Call them sir. You can call them sir. Like you can say CEO sir or sir, whatever his name is. You don't have to call him Dasho because Dasho is it's not an easy feat to get a red scarf from His Majesty's.
Oh, I get it. It's kind of like the British, the way they.
It is a
call
knighthood.
people.
Like it's like a
Yeah,
knighthood.
like
It's
sir.
a knighthood.
My mom used to tell me don't call teachers. For example, when we used to address our teachers, we used to say like, Sir Satish, but she used to say, don't say Sir Satish because again, Sir is a knighthood title.
Yeah.
Rather, you should say Satish Sir because when you put Sir before the name, then she used to tell me it's considered an honorific title of knighthood.
Oh, really?
I don't know, but I think it's in the current zeitgeist, using Sir before the name is not really that big a deal now.
What does zeitgeist mean?
The current,
Scenario?
yeah. You define it better.
What is
I would not know how to define it properly.
I don't know. Sounds like a part of an egg.
Zeitgeist?
Yeah, I think it's a zygote. though.
Sounds like it sounds
That's
German.
the zygote.
Yeah, sounds
Isn't
like
that a cell?
Sounds like
Sounds nice.
German. No, zeitgeist.
Probably. No, zeitgeist is...
Zeitgeist.
Nine,
zeitgeist.
No, what you think is Zyklone B, which is the gas they used.
Oh, yeah.
That was the first.
Yeah, so the Zyklone B gas was what the Nazis used to...
Holocaust.
Yeah, during the Holocaust. That's something for all you Hitler.
I think
Nazi
we're all,
fanatics that we have
for
in this
some
country.
reason, every pod we go to some World War II Hitler reference.
See, that's how ingrained it has become in our society. Like, we don't mean to, we still somehow end up talking about the Second World War and the Third Reich.
Let's segue to something else. I'm tired of talking about the World War II. Okay, pickup lines. Okay, Dawa's got some pickup lines. Let's hear it.
No.
That one is a pickup lines.
You gotta like segue. No, you gotta like.
Okay, are you a World War II tank? Because you look like one.
No. Okay, look. No, the context of it is, you said you know some really bad pickup lines, and I said I know worse ones. Right?
Okay.
Since you challenged me,
Okay.
I think you should go first.
Okay. Dawa, where's your family from?
Paro.
Paro? So your census is in where? Paro or in Thimphu?
Paro.
Paro. Are you sure it's not in Gaza?
No.
Because Ngachilu, Gaza.
Oh, God, that's...
Alright, I got one. Do you work
I
at
apologize.
Do you work at Subway?
No, why?
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because you're giving me a foot long.
Okay, we're going to move away from this because I do not think our audience members would want
Do you
to
like
listen to us.
CDs
Okay,
or tapes? Do you like CDs or tapes?
CDs.
Because you're gonna see these nuts when I tape my dick to your face.
Okay, fine then. I've got one, and this one that Dawa told me.
Okay.
You go up to a girl at a club, and you tell her, "Honey, I'm the STD in stud. All I need is you."
I gotta put in this one. Would you like some Ack Daniels?
I'll give you the J later.
I'll give you the J later.
Anyway, Dawa, what are you working on currently? I see you riding around on your bike, and when I say the word "see" here, I mean it in the most loose of terms. See, Dawa is actually one of those people. There are two people in this in Thimphu who are convinced that I can see, and that I'm just making this stuff up.
Oh, like Stevie Wonder.
No, okay, we're not going there. But yeah, like I've seen him ride around on his bike a few times, and but he's convinced that I'm making up my whole.
I still
This
think.
is a charade.
Yeah.
I still think he's like playing the "I'm blind" card for like pity points or some bullshit like that. Reason being, there have been moments where like I've walked into a room and before anyone else sees me, people with perfect vision, he sees me. You know, it's like that Naruto thing, like that Byakugan thing.
Yeah.
Like I'll walk into a room and be like, "Ching!" Dawa, he's there.
How do I know that you've come in if I'm looking at the floor?
I don't know. You just seem to see me. It's like
It's
you have
because
like
you
this-
slouch. You come in and you slouch. I know very few people
Do I have
who
like
slouch.
that? Like, do I have like such an iconic?
You are the
look?
hunchback of Give No Damn.
Then how is it that you can see me on the street before I see you? You know, like you say, you see me on my bike or whatever.
It's our
I don't
love
see
connection,
you.
darling.
What?
It's our love connection.
Maybe Kinley has apparently if you lose one sense, your other senses get heightened.
That's actually a myth.
There's a myth.
That's a myth.
It's a myth.
Your senses don't get heightened. You tend to rely more on your other senses.
That's what I'm saying. Has your hearing gone better since your vision has depreciated?
Could you say that again?
You know, Pablo Picasso was deaf in one ear, and when people said he couldn't paint, you know what he said? I can't hear you.
Okay. Very weird. Anyway, yeah. So, Dawa, what projects are you working on lately?
Just I guess like the usual. I'm doing a bunch of websites. Happy to say that most of my websites are now like coming from Australia and the States because
Oh, you making that white man money?
Yeah, that white man money.
So how do you get clients? What do you use, like a portal to get people clients?
Right now, right now I'm just kind of like relying on word of mouth because for me I feel like that's always been like the best way to get business.
Connections, networking.
Well, in Bhutan, I think
just
a
like
lot
a
of
friends referral that always seems to convince people more than anything else.
Yes.
Yeah, but then, especially in Bhutan, with such a small society, I think word of mouth seems to work better than advertising.
Apparently,
actually
word of
does.
mouth is much better marketing than any sort of marketing.
See, I'm not sure about that out here so much because everybody knows each other, right?
Yes.
So if any time someone, at least in Bhutan, someone says, Damn, sorry. That's my. See, I usually wake up around this time. That's why my phone's like going off.
Alarm mode.
Yeah, I usually wake up around this time.
That's a very subtle alarm. But anyway, go
4
on.
p.m. It's like, Dawa, wake up, darling.
Yeah.
Dawa.
So like I was saying, Bhutan's such a small place, right? Since everybody knows everyone, you'll always hear like, oh, you want this? My cousin does it.
Yeah.
This guy does it. That guy does it. So it always feels like, great, everybody's a professional at it. So I can't take anybody's word for it here as much. Whereas I think like outside, because for a friend, at least outside, they must know like a bunch of companies and other like real businesses, and they must have seen advertising for other things, right? So if this person is going out of their way to recommend you instead of another business, which might seem very competitive or whatever, I think that means a little bit more. So I think that's why I was, I'm making that white man money, as you said.
Yeah, but then like you've done clients here also, no?
Yeah, that's how I got my start, and I had to charge like slave rates, I'd say. Like sometimes I'd have to do things for free, or
I think we've all had experience with that, right?
but that's just part of the course, I guess. I mean,
You did it for exposure,
parts of
didn't
the
you?
course.
You did it for that sweet exposure.
Yeah, I did, because
Delicious
you need a portfolio or something. Like the moment you have like you have a bit to show off, that convinces other people that you're worth.
Done this, you've done
Yeah,
that.
you've done it, so
Portfolio.
you're reliable, and it's worth paying you for.
Well, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. Worst client you've had. You don't have to name them,
Yeah,
but
let's
why?
call him.
Oh man,
Let's call him Devon.
Devon.
Yeah.
Dasho Devon, to make it even more dukba.
Dasho Devon.
Yeah.
Okay, Dasho Devon. Okay, wait. Who is Dasho Devon? Let me see.
He's like creating this entire like character arc in his head now.
No,
You don't need to. He is a real
See,
person. We're just giving him a pseudonym.
it's hard because it's like there's so many bad ones.
Yeah.
It's hard to
Okay,
pick
tell
which
us
is the
one
worst.
of the bad ones. One of these Devons. We should
Right.
remember.
I think the worst one was like there's this one person who was like they said like the one website was like, oh great, and they're like, yeah, but I need it quick, and I was like, sure, no problem. I just need the content, right? So give me pictures, give me the write-ups, give me all that jazz you want, right? I will put it all together and I will make it for you. Give me a month, I'll do it. They said all right, and how do I say this without being mean?
Be mean.
You can be mean. There's no filter in the SY-POD.
Oh, all right. Well, they might be able to tell who they are, so they have to still keep it kind of vague.
Ambiguous. Huh?
Right. But anyways, so they were all like excited and everything, and they're like like really pressuring me to finish it on time, right? So I thought I did like a lot of hard work to like just ask for the content, and they said, all right, so here's like half of it right now, like more will come later. And I was like, oh, okay. So 2 weeks went by.
I'm so sorry, but that's what most guys tell their first dates. Here's half of it, more will come later.
But which? There's more.
But go on,
So
sorry.
I was getting all this material, and I was like, I was putting it all together, and then I called the guy, and he's like, where's the content? And he's like, oh, it's coming. I was like, all right. Another week goes by. It's like, hey, where's the content? And it's like, all right. So he's like, and then 5 days go by, and this guy is supposed to give it to me, and
Exactly.
like he calls and he's like, Dawa, listen. This guy calls in, Dasho Devon calls and he's like, hey, Dawa, listen, like, like deadline's approaching or something. We gotta finish it right now. It's like, yeah, but like,
haven't given me any content.
you're supposed to give me this stuff. And then he starts playing the blame game. He's like, yeah, but it's your fault. I was like, what? How is it my fault? Like, we've discussed this, right? And they're like, no, but you did like those like...
What?
Like when a guy has like no leg to stand on, he just starts making like the wildest accusations, and you just kind of like left in like...
What kind of accusations was he making?
Like I should have been like more engaged with it. I rely on you to like involve me in the project. It's like, what else are you doing, right? Plus it's his business.
Okay.
So like there's only 2 days left or something like that. So I was like, okay, I'll cut you a deal. I will come up with the content. Like, I'll just fill it in for you. I'll just make it so at least we can finish the site and it'll look good, and then you can edit it later.
Okay.
They're like, fine. So I spent like the next 48 hours just like going right, just finishing it. I finished it, and then I met the guy and I was like, okay, I finished and everything. Here's the website or whatever. I said, all right. Okay, can I get paid? I was like, can I get paid? I was like, yeah. Soon.
Oh,
Did you get paid? Did you get paid?
He never got paid.
Those who are listening in, he's just smiling awkwardly. That's
Yeah, for those of you who are not,
sorry.
For those of you who are not watching the YouTube feed.
Yes, those that don't have the visual feedback. I'm just smiling.
You're smiling.
You know this happens.
So I actually had a similar client once. He kind of reminded me, but
What was your gig though?
so I was writing SOPs. I was helping people go to Australia.
Ah, yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah, and so I get this call at like 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. in the evening, and then so I don't do SOPs anymore.
Okay.
And this client is the reason that I don't do SOPs anymore.
Okay.
I get this call, and then this client and then I'm like, hello.
Let's call him.
Dash Devon still.
No. Let's give another name. I want to role play. Let's call him Shaniqua.
Okay, fine, Shaniqua.
Okay, Shaniqua.
So Shaniqua calls, and then so I like, yeah, and then Shaniqua is like, Acho, I hear you do SOPs.
Okay.
I was like, yes. And then he's like, could you do an SOP for me? And I said, what do you mean? Do you want me to edit an SOP? Do you already have one written, or do you want me to write you one from scratch? So he goes, I want you to write me one from scratch.
Okay.
And I said, oh, then the charges are this.
Okay.
And then he said, oh, Acho, that's a little too much. Can you give me a discount? I said, you're asking me to write an SOP from scratch. Like, I have to get all your details and everything. So, yeah. And then he goes, no, Acho, I don't have so much money. Like, could you discount it? So I gave him my editing rate, how much I take for editing. And then he said, oh, okay, Acho, my name is this, Shaniqua. My nickname is Shaniqua Gelson or whatever.
Shaniqua Gelson.
And then gives me the school, everything, okay. And then they hang up. And then, and then I asked them, I said, okay, this much detail right now. Later on, could you give me your other details? I need your school. I need why you're taking this course, why you're applying in this university, what are your career goals, all that stuff.
So and so.
Then they're like, yes, Acho, I'll send you the details. 5 o'clock to 7 p.m. 2 hours waited, don't get the details.
Okay.
Called him up, and then Shaniqua tells me, oh, Acho, I'll get you the details at 9.
Okay.
I was like, okay, but when do you need this SOP by? He says, I need it by 9 tomorrow, so 12 hours. So I said, oh, in that case, you better send me your details quickly. So he said, yeah, Acho, I'll send it to you by 9. Okay, 9 p.m. rolls along, don't get the details.
Okay.
10 p.m. rolls along.
Okay.
I called Shaniqua up again, and then I was like, where are your details? And do you know what Shaniqua tells me? Acho, I'll send you the details at like 5 in the morning at the party jodo. And that annoyed the shit out of me, because like your priorities, man. And then you know what? Whatever details he gave me, I wrote one SOP with that. I still didn't get the details that Shaniqua is supposed to give me. Sent it over. And then Shaniqua's counselor calls me at 9 a.m. in the morning.
Counselor?
Yeah, the person who's going to send them. You know, the client, the consultancy.
Okay.
And then the consultancy says, this is such a weak SOP. Like, this won't do. And then I said, please ask your client what they were doing at 10 p.m. and I asked them for the details. And then after that, I had to. And then I just sort of like, after that point, I've never wanted to do SOPs for anymore.
So did he pay you?
Yeah, he paid me.
Okay. Yeah, that's better. That's a happier ending.
That's a
happier ending than I've got.
Well, we're not comparing our endings.
Yeah, we're not comparing.
Speaking of happy endings.
Bangkok!
Oh, by the way, you bring up something I've always wondered. Do you guys ever draw a line between like, it's always sad to see someone that's like in a miserable state or is not in a very good place in their life, right? That's always a sad thing.
Yes.
I don't know why I want to say I see it particularly here, even though like in the back of my head I know it's everywhere, but still. There's people that are in like sorry states of life and everything, right? Is there a line you draw between like you feeling sorry for them and you saying something like, you're the cause of your own suffering, and I feel no empathy.
I think it's sad if it's somebody.
Do you have like a thought process?
Yeah,
for
I have
it?
a thought process. If there's someone who has like no capability of helping themselves, then it's very you can empathize with them. You can say like, oh, it's a pity that they're like this. Like maybe you have no limbs, or maybe you're paralyzed from the neck down.
Right.
Okay,
That's
something like that. But if something like an old guy walking down the street, or if it's like a dude in a wheelchair, then this guy's he's disabled in certain extent, but he's not independent. He's not dependent on anybody. He can depend on himself. So
Well,
that's why I don't.
technically, in case of if you're going according to people with wheelchairs,
Mm-hmm.
this country, a lot of them are dependent, and it's mostly because
We don't have ramps.
we don't have accessibility.
We don't have ramps.
infrastructure.
And this has been something that I have been sort of like vehemently arguing for, and it's this like I understand that our country by its own geographical nature is not the most wheelchair accessible place. I mean, we've got ups and downs and all that stuff, but I think within the city like town limits, and when it comes to like certain offices and all, I think we could put in some wheelchair ramps and try to, because do you see any people in wheelchairs in town?
Yes.
Where?
Well,
Do you see them moving around? Is what I'm saying.
I do see them moving around, but they have to go access. They have to like go through the Garilam,
See, and that's very risky, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes.
Because the sidewalks, forget for wheelchair, the sidewalks are scary for people who don't require wheelchairs. The sidewalks are shit scary. But we're not here to discuss that. Of course, we can open up an entire
Another
can of
discussion.
worms about that. But to go back to yours, I feel I don't feel sorry for people. I don't think sympathy does anything for people.
Mm-hmm.
However, at the same time, I do think it's necessary to give people a little support just to help them, get up. To what I mean by that is, it's one thing to tell somebody who is down on their luck to say and then just leave them. It's another thing to say, you know what, you're down on your luck right now, or you've been dealt a bad hand. But if I can give you just that little bit of help that can help you, do better,
yes.
then I think that's more important rather than the whole
Pity, sympathizing.
all that the sympathy stuff. And I can't stand people who use their down on their luck thing to gain sympathy and then to use that to gain something out of it.
So
victim card.
Yeah, there we go. I do not like
Yeah,
people
but
using their
but how do you
disability as a
like?
victim card.
How do you draw that line? Like, how do you know like when someone's actually making a valid claim upon their disability versus like
Someone who's playing the victim card.
just being a wuss?
Because I have seen people who have been in that similar situation, and
I mean, I might look at you and say like you're a good example of this. Like you're quite, if not very visually impaired, like you're very, 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 very visually impaired. But you seem to be doing better than most people who would have like every that don't have the same problems as you.
that's what I mean.
Like you know more about literature than most people that have like perfect vision out here, right? So for me, like I look at you in as like someone that doesn't seem to be like, oh, I can't see, so I can't read, and literature isn't for me. You don't seem to be cooking up these excuses, right? So
no, that's what I mean. Like,
where would you draw that line now?
in my case, like I told you, I had a support system that was very strong for me, my family, and especially like my mother to this day tells people like when I was growing up, I used to walk by myself to school. My mom used to make me do things by myself, and a lot of people used to tell my mom like, why are you letting him do this? Like he can't see, aren't you scared? And my mom always used to say, if I keep him coddled, if I protect him too much, then he's never going to
do things
grow
by
out
yourself.
of it.
be able to grow out of it. So it was very necessary for my mother to create the support whereby I could do things by myself. So that's what I mean by when I say you need to be able to give people that support. It doesn't always have to be monetary support. I think monetary support does help, but I think sometimes just being able to talk to them and getting to know who they are and helping them understand that what they are living with currently is not something that should be holding them down.
But was there anything mentally, if you remember, like that kept you from going, I'm gonna be a wuss?
I'm gonna into the
Are you like? Was there anything that prevented you from being like, no, I don't want to go out alone, or like, no, I don't want to like do these things?
No, not really.
No?
Because my mom kind of gets scared of the fact. Because even today, if I find a bicycle, I will take that shit. I have I don't think when you say it like that, I've never actually considered the repercussions of things that could happen to me because of the fact that I can't see. Like, there are things that I won't do because I know, like, I'm not going to be stupid enough to go get behind a steering wheel of a car.
or be a pilot.
Hashtag
episode 4 reference.
And 5.
And 5.
But, yeah, but, like, I've never really thought, like, you know, like, the way you put it, I've never really thought in those terms.
So you can't like pinpoint like a certain thought you had that prevented you from being like a wuss?
I can't really, not really, no.
Oh man, and here I thought we were about to unlock the secrets of the universe. You know? I was like, finally, someone who will answer these questions that philosophers have debated over centuries, millenniums over.
Although, I have been made to feel bad about the fact that I was visually disabled. And that was done by a teacher of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? It's a Zonga teacher of mine. So.
Oh my God! It
stems from the Zonga teacher.
Wait, hold on. For any of our international viewers, it's all if something bad happened to you as a Budni student in a Budni school, it's always the Zonka teacher.
Okay, I'm going to have
I
to
don't know why.
I have to be devil's advocate here. It's not always,
all right,
but
it's
a majority of the time.
99%. You know, the Zonka teacher. I don't know why.
I think everyone has one story about
the Zonka teacher.
Like a lousy Zonka teacher.
I've got many, and we could go about, but yeah, like.
I'm just saying that's a cultural reference.
Yeah, when I was in school, one of my Zonga teachers made me read a passage, and because I can't see, the book's really close to my face, right? So because of that, I have to analyze every letter before I read it. So I had to go like
Ga,
sim, like that, right?
Okay, so
and
very slow.
He got really angry at me, and then he was like, I think he said something to the ways of, you know, if you can't see and you can't read, then why bother studying? And to this day, I think like that really sucks to say to somebody who, like,
especially a child.
I was not really a child by that point, but
teenager.
Then, yeah, I was a teenager. So I'm not going to tell you who it was or what happened or which school it was either. But those are like I think that stuff like that is really debilitating, and it can really ruin people's confidence.
Yes, of course.
Right, now going back to the unlocking the secrets of the universe, why didn't that like make you, you know, like huddle up in your corner and be like, shelter?
How did you take that? Did you take it like how I was saying, like did you become depressed, or did it boost you to even like, I'm gonna prove him wrong, I'm gonna read this passage?
When did this podcast become?
No, I just want to know, like I said, you know, we're unlocking the secrets of the universe.
Unlock the secrets of Kinle.
In my case,
don't worry, I'll interrogate this guy soon enough.
How is Dawa become the interviewer?
I'm not the interviewer, I'm just trying to like unlock the secrets.
Calm down. It's okay.
Sorry, it's just, you know, I feel attacked right now.
Do you want your angry pills?
Lola, can you do me a favor? Like, in the tree,
Yo, don't you have like that Nimbu Pani that we're sponsored by?
Today, no more Nimbu Pani.
Aren't we sponsored by them?
We were never
I'm gonna go to the pot and I'm gonna drink some Nimbu Pani.
Do you know who owns that like Coke factory in Pinsiling?
I don't know, but then please.
Dorji Coca-Cola?
Is it?
I don't know.
Yo, we should get in touch with them.
Yo, if you're watching this, Doji, we like the Cokes.
Or if anyone knows.
He likes the small black Cokes.
Not like the BBCs.
Anyway,
okay. Right. Anyways, let's go back to unlocking.
I thought we were past that.
Have we?
Okay, fine. So, Zonka teacher says shitty stuff. That's sort of that's like there, but no, again, no. Like at that moment, yes, it sucked. Like at that moment when you're standing in front of class and your teacher says shit stuff.
So you didn't like go online and tweet about it and then.
No, because I'm a like. This was during the time when you couldn't even like.
It was just a cultural reference.
Yeah, but like, this wasn't like, I think.
She'll love you.
This wasn't really internet wasn't that big. I mean, it was big, but we didn't have like at that time we didn't have like really super fast internet.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't So you don't recall like some force that like compelled you to continue?
No, not
No.
really.
Have some water.
The way I see it is, life deals you cards, and sometimes you just
You have to play the hand
you
you're dealt.
play the
Right.
hand you're dealt.
Right. Well, on that rather uplifting / not so uplifting, I mean, there's like, I felt like there was a good build up, but then
You were digging for something.
yeah, but then you totally let us down.
But that's how life is, there's
Oh,
build up
wow,
and
look
then
at that, a lesson on top of a lesson.
You came in as the teacher, but you ended
As the student.
as the
Yes,
student.
yes, that was me. Now,
Apparently, this is how it goes, okay? This is how I look at it. Apparently, a caterpillar, how a caterpillar it becomes a butterfly? It takes 7 days for it to be, metamorphosis. Is that the process?
yeah.
So apparently, at the end of the metamorphosis period, where the caterpillar puts in the cocoon, is about to come out the shell. It's like the hardest time to come out of the, that cocoon. And it's very difficult and it's very painful for the caterpillar, but apparently, if you help him even a little bit, he'll come out of the cocoon and he'll die, And the only way it can come out to be a butterfly is if it struggles its way out and becomes a butterfly. So I use that as a metaphor of life. Like, the struggle will make you succeed, rather than you being being handed the freebies.
Right,
That will
right.
be the detriment to your downfall.
Right, but like for me, it's always like, how do I know this problem is a real problem and not like a question of mentality?
Give us an example of your dilemma.
So like I couldn't read till I was like 13 or 14.
Oh, you're learning disability.
Yeah, I was like dyslexic severely.
Dyslexic. So what's dyslexic? Like when you read something, do you see like all the letters bounce up or what?
Something like that. Like it's like I don't read the words like words. It's more like I recognize their. It's like I recognize words like pictures. At least this is how I solved the issue.
Okay. When did you get diagnosed?
So in the beginning, everyone was convinced I was like mentally challenged.
Mentally challenged.
Like 100%. Like the expectation for me was that I would not pass class 10.
Oh, okay.
Like that's what most people thought of me back then. That's because I couldn't read, especially Zonka and stuff like that. Pretty bad shape, right? So I had dyslexia, and I realized like, yeah, my life is probably gonna be horrible if like things don't change. So I remember pushing very hard to come up with what I think is my method of reading now, which is, it's not the words I read, it's more like what it looks like, and that's why I can read very quickly now.
So you're trying to do like photographic memory of the words, or
Some nonsense like that. Like, I mean,
it's your own method.
Yeah, it doesn't sound
it will not make sense when you explain it, but it makes sense when you actually.
Yeah, it makes sense to him.
yeah, or like maybe like I'll tell you this. So when I was getting diagnosed, it's very, very common for like people to fake dyslexia because they're lazy little fucks. I mean, there are.
We have to admit, there are some people who do fake.
Why would you? What is the reason? What thrill do you
fake
get?
it?
Yeah.
Well, you can get you don't have to read. No one will blame you for not reading. You get extended time for exams and tests quite often. Other thing, you get like a few benefits and freebies like that.
All right.
So when I was getting diagnosed, the psychologist or like the doctor man across the table.
Doctor man.
Yeah. So he had to do some basic tests on me, and he's like, "Okay, let's try some tricky words and see if you can spell them." He's like, "Rough."
Okay.
I don't know.
RUFF. Okay, whatever.
Rough.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
It's like, rhinoceros. Jesus, doc. He gave me a hard time. And he's like, okay, try hippopotamus. Obviously, I failed all three and then some more words. And then the doctor started reading out the words. He's like, and he would tell me how to spell it. Okay, so he said, rough, ROUGH. And I was like, like rhinoceros. I'm not gonna attempt it right now.
It's okay.
I'm just saying. But yeah, he spelled it, and I was like, oh, okay, I got it. And he said, hippopotamus. And he spelled it out. And I was like, no, I think that's wrong. He's like, and then he'd like, you think it's wrong? You know, this doctor's like, you questioning me, boy? You with dyslexia? Telling me I'm wrong? I was like, yes. Like, okay, fine. Write it down and like try again. I was like, no, I don't think that's right. And he's like, okay, fine. They said, come here, we'll look it up. So I got on his computer and then he typed it out.
Rhinoceros.
No, hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus.
He pressed enter and he was wrong. The guy had been spelling hippopotamus wrong his whole life. And he went, huh, well, would you look at that? And he's like, how did you know? And I was like, and I had to describe to him, like, it's not that I knew it read wrong, it just looked wrong. Like an image, you know, like a picture that's been like...
Something's missing, like some person with no ear or something like that.
Right, like if...
It feels wrong.
Yeah, like it's kind of like if I showed you a picture of like yourself, but like maybe I photoshopped a mole
which is
off,
not there. Okay.
or like I added an extra hair.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
something's off about that.
that's not me, right?
Yeah.
So to me, that was the word, and
Okay.
that's kind of how I read. It's like I don't read
So
hippopotamus.
you
I see
technically
it.
you knew what hippopotamus
Oh
looked
my.
like.
Yeah, I knew what the word
Looked
looked
like.
like. It was like a logo or like an icon. Like basically, words
sorry,
to me are like hieroglyphics.
Okay, hieroglyphics.
I just pictured like Dawa having an anxiety attack reading Bhutanese newspapers.
Oh my god.
These don't look right. Like,
Right, so
Okay, let's go back to the initial question, the
that's-
dilemma. Okay, so
Right.
you're saying you would do dyslexia,
dyslexia.
and so what was the dilemma thing you said about
right, so for me,
Victim
I
guard
thought
thingy.
so. I mean, the reason why this interests me is because I was like, okay, that was a huge problem, and I could see how I could have like totally buried myself under this excuse of having severe dyslexia,
Okay.
but I didn't.
and what
And
was,
now life is fantastic.
and what
and
was your perspective on it there? You're saying you could have done that, so how did you not do that?
Oh man, this is gonna sound so horrible. I think
cut
it was,
yourself.
man. Do you see these wrists, huh? These are clean, baby.
These are
See
clean.
that?
With that in mind, we definitely do not encourage our audience members who are currently going through some mental issues to start cutting yourself.
That was
Definitely get help if you all are currently going through some difficult mental
Try like
issues.
wood carvings. I hear that's pretty good. Plus, you develop a really good skill, and hey, who knows? Maybe you discover you got a real knack for it.
Yeah.
In which case, hey, online business.
I wanted to cut myself, but now I own a furniture store.
Oh my god, that'd be such a cool story.
That's
Yeah.
a great story.
But
Okay,
anyway,
anyways,
go on.
let's go back to you. So, what you did?
Oh, so man, where was I?
So dyslexia.
Oh yeah, I think what motivated me was like rage mostly. I don't know why. It was like, I wish I could say it was like from a happy place. It's like, oh, people believed in me. I had this great, unlike
Support
you,
system.
I had this great support system. Right? It was more like, I was so down and everyone was like, Dawa, you're so dumb. And I was like, fine, screw these people. And then, I don't know, it was like a light switch and then...
It's starting to sound like a
like,
villain origin story, but
Yeah.
go on.
Yeah, I mean, for me it was like do, and then I was like, great, I'm here now. I can read.
No, but then rage does help to a certain extent. I think.
Yeah, but that's why. So I mean, see, this is.
But
why
it depends on how you channel that rage. Whereas in your case, you channeled that rage into a positive, and you turned it into getting yourself out of whatever hole people had dug for you. But then again, at the same time, I think there are some people who use the rage in the wrong way, which then gives rise to some...
Dugs.
Huh?
Two Dugs. Doug use.
Drugs. And I think that's another the way. I think it really depends on how you utilize what you are currently going through in that moment, and like the spin you put onto it to
Right.
get out of that situation.
Wow.
Okay.
I think this is the best segue for Instagram questions. If you
Yes,
have
this
any.
is the best.
Well, we
segment.
got Instagram questions.
We got
no, I
we got
think
like 3 Instagram questions. But let's answer the last pod. Give
Hey,
you
don't say we got 3. Be like, yes, we have many.
Oh, so many,
questions.
but I'll pick the top 3.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotta-
We reboot, edit, cut that part out.
Censor.
Oh, and by the way, Norla, when Dawa was saying a rough rhinoceros and hippopotamus. Could you kindly put those words on the green screen?
How do you portray rough? Oh, like a brick.
Yeah.
The word rough, maybe.
Or your childhood.
Yeah, just like Photoshop a brick.
Or your childhood to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody in our comments from the episode 5 on YouTube said, can you do an episode about the parallel wave of Bhutanese cinema, about the Buddhist identity and urbanization, along with the average movie with heavy Bollywood influence? What does that mean?
I think they want to talk. I didn't quite understand the question. Like,
I think that's like multiple questions in one, so you'd have to break it apart.
so I think it's talking
think
about
about
how
Bhutanese
Bhutanese
films.
films and Bollywood films have thing, but how.
But you also had the Buddhist identity in it.
Yeah, I suppose.
I
They
think.
really thought long and hard about that question, though, I just gotta say.
I think. Okay, so my opinion about Bhutanese films is we're very, very influenced by Indian cinema, Bollywood cinema, especially with dance routines and then the cliche
Even plot
love,
points to a
love
certain-
story.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being influenced.
So
by
the
it.
thing
But
about
isn't that like every Asian entertain? Like, have you watched K-drama?
yeah, but K-dramas don't have like they don't break into song and dance.
But maybe not that part, but everything else is the same. Like all the, the father or mother-in-law is always the evil one.
Romeo and Juliet, classic Romeo and Juliet.
Somebody gets hit by a car or something.
and you
Someone's
see-
always poor. Someone's always rich.
Didn't someone
CEO.
actually do a study on this and said that every story can be boiled down to 7 plots, one of 7 plots?
Yeah.
I forgot who that was, but anyway, go on.
No, wait,
on that
so
note,
back
on the,
to-
maybe let's go that on that note, and I'll go back to my note. So there's this one guy who's a executive in Disney. So there's a plot which is a template for any story in Disney. It's called the hero's journey. So you present the hero, and then the hero has to have something which sets him back. Then he's getting introduced to his mentor. So then they go to a journey to the future where he gets better, which makes him go back to the past where he's now redeemed himself.
What's the circle?
It's called
the
it's
story
called
wheel.
It's called the hero's journey, whatever it is. We can get that to later. But anyways, the Bollywood cinema is catered towards the working class. No, so it's very people want to go to watch a movie not because of the plot or anything else, but
They
they,
just
want to
want
be
entertainment.
entertained.
Yeah, true.
So that's why our Bollywood films and Bhutanese films alike have love, have comedy, have action, have
Dancing around trees.
have dance, entertain, everything all rolled into one. And then similarly, that's why our Bhutanese cinema is very catered to that kind of people. And our number one audience who goes watches movies in theaters are
The working class.
Gillos. They're the bigger because they like the.
Who's done this study, though?
Last time someone did the study, he told me that.
Okay.
So, anyways,
And you trust this guy?
it kind of makes sense. Because like if you go to any normal person like our age, they'll say, "Do you watch movies?" Like, not really, it's not my type.
Yeah, I know.
You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
I was just being mean, but
But in thing, I as a support for the Bhutanese film industry, a few years ago, before the pandemic hit, I was actually going to watch a lot of Bhutanese films.
Yeah, I think there is some it's a very like a niche kind of genre.
Yeah,
I
I
feel.
mean, and there are people who go to watch it, and like you said, it is the working class who are going to watch it. Actually, I didn't see a lot of gelongs there, but then again, what did I see? But I did notice it's a lot of the working.
you know what
class.
you're kind of implying, right?
What am I playing?
That the three of us are a part of the bourgeoisie.
No, not bourgeoisie.
Yeah, it's coming off like that. But in all honesty, I have to say that I'm not the biggest fan of Bhutanese films, and by no means am I saying that I watch fancy, like really like artsy films. I watch most stupid stuff.
Yeah,
as
me
well.
too.
I just don't go to watch Bhutanese, and I decided to change that, and I decided to go watch a few Bhutanese films now and then. And in terms of entertainment, I think they are entertaining.
Yeah, and I think film industry is now very changing. What English? So it's changing. Like there are plots which are driven more to not the working class, but people who are like who educated. I would say not even educated. Like people who want to watch a movie for the plot rather than for the entertainment sake. I think it is changing. Our film industry, like you think about, 98 was when TV came out. So it's still very in the infancy right now. So we have still a lot of room to grow.
And I think now, like you're seeing the rise of independent filmmakers as well. And
Of course. Like us.
I am not going to. I do not second that.
So we're gonna like skirt and dodge around that Buddhist part, right?
No, of course, our country as being a Buddhist country, we have to to
No, I
express our
think
Buddhist
Buddhist,
values
right.
and express our culture in our films, because when people from outside of Bhutan watch it, they'll see, oh, this is how Bhutan looks like. So we have to portray that, no. So we get why there's this values are being portrayed in the films, because that's a, what you call, what's the word now? An avenue.
Selling point as well.
Come on.
I cannot find the word, but it's something like...
It is a selling point as well, let's be honest. The whole Buddhist identity, the whole Bhutanese aesthetic is one of the selling points that a lot, we can't skirt around that. A lot of foreigners and people who take interest in Bhutan it's because of our Bhutanese, it's because of the identity and the
now
aesthetics.
Let's
that we
answer
exude.
a few questions, because I got one more thing I want to bring up.
Okay, after we answer these top 3 questions. So someone said about wokeism and postmodernism in Bhutanese society, good or bad?
If it's not to an extreme, I think anything done to an extreme is bad.
We told us last episode, right, with Sean, about wokeism.
Like I said, if you're doing it genuinely and you feel for it, I think it's great. It's great to have social causes and want to be woke. I don't know what the hell woke even means at this point.
Woke means just like kind of like self-righteousness, I think. I know better than you, so now you are sheep and I am the shepherd.
It's like, at least to me, pathologically, like psychologically, it just seems like a Puritan.
Huh?
A Puritan is like someone who's like...
Yeah, I know. Very orthodox, very strict about their...
Like, you're not doing what I am doing, therefore you are
wrong.
beneath me, and like your ways are not the ideal way, therefore I am like I have like this moral high ground over you.
But then I think I wouldn't go to that extent. I personally think that it's okay to be woke as long as you don't... I think for me personally, it's always been extremes. I can't stand people who take things to an extreme.
But I think
I can't stand it if... I'm so sorry, Dawa. I'll let you think. I can't stand it when somebody, they cram their opinions and their ideas of social justice and all that down your throat and don't listen to the other side as well. And then when you start doing that, then what ends up happening is you are pushing for an extreme again. And it's the same for the other side as well. For the hardcore conservatives and the hardcore traditionalists, it's the same thing. We have hardcore Shangri-lists who hold on to our tradition and culture to the point that they'll be the ones who end up killing it because they don't want to adapt with the times.
Yes.
I honestly think it boils more down to the extremes of it. If you're somebody who's woke and I don't know why you even need to label yourself. I don't get the whole point of labeling yourself either, but if you have causes that you fight for and all that, great. But don't take it to an extreme, because then when you do take it to an extreme, you just end up creating more enemies than you actually create allies. And I think that's more scary at the end of the day. And there's no room for discourse and disagreement and debate.
If I had to go off of what you were saying, I think the fundamental cause is that feeling of righteousness. Because the moment you feel righteous,
the whole virtue signaling thing, right?
It's kind of, that righteous sense, right? It justifies everything. You can feel so high on your passion and your emotion for the cause and the things around you happening, because obviously there's probably a crowd that's encouraging you, right? It can make everything seem like, yes, this is the right way. This is the way it's meant to be, right? Because, you can imagine the Crusaders, how righteous they felt, marching through,
killing pagans.
Just going through villages and being like, well, these are non-Christians, and the Pope said that, and, our way is the righteous path. This is the way, and everything we're doing is A-okay, right? So of course, in retrospect, we realize how crazy that was.
Yes.
But that all stems from that feeling of righteousness and
And I have to speak on personal experience here, because when I was younger, I was a hardcore heavy metal fan, and I still am. I love heavy metal, and it got to the point when I was a kid where I was super thing about it. It was no other genre is better. If you listen to pop music, you are less. You are beneath me. My music is intellectually superior. People are talking about you are uncultured, blah blah. But now when I think about it, that was such a stupid way of thinking. And now I still am not the biggest fan of pop music, and I still don't listen to a lot of mainstream music. But I don't go to the extent where I start telling people that they're stupid for listening to pop music or they're stupid for making pop music. I will, of course, give my own critical thing about a song that's come out, which I probably won't enjoy. I'll probably be I don't like it. Personally, for me, I'll say stuff like, I don't like it because this is to me is not something that appeals.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go around telling people stop listening to this music. You are wrong for listening to this music. And if you take wokeism, like if you look at people who are doing that and you put, instead of putting music, you put wokeism, you sort of see that extremes can be a very scary thing. And if you, this whole feeling of, as Dawa said, this feeling of righteousness is going to be very detrimental to the progress of
in the end.
society.
free thought and the ability to have dialogue without each one trying to get the moral high ground, as Dawa said.
Now, so next question.
Next question. I think we want to get onto this too much. This is a stupid question, so I'll answer it. Why so tall? Drink Horlicks or Bournvita. It helped with me.
You could also lean into...
Yeah, sure. Genetics have nothing to do with it,
Nothing at all.
You could also lean into this age-old belief that, certain activities can lead to increase in height.
Yes, certain activities.
Yeah, certain activities.
Certain activities?
Hashtag.
The long and the short of it is that certain activities.
Yes, I mean, no, this is one of those like...
Apparently this
if
activity...
you know.
That activity, apparently you can go tall or you could go blind.
Or grow hair on your knuckles for some reason.
Damn it, now it's obvious. But yeah.
So it's one of us has proved it right.
Right.
One of us has proved it right.
Not for lack of trying though.
Not for the lack of trying. I don't know why people say that, no. Why do people say masturbating makes you blind or tall?
No, it's... we can actually go into a different thing. Is a lot of things that we say, right, makes sort of sense when you think about it back in the time. Like, if you look at it from... this whole masturbation causes you to go blind is definitely not a Buddhist myth or a Bhutanese myth. It comes from the West as well. And it comes from, again, very hyper-religious Christians who believed that, touching yourself and playing with yourself was a sin. So in order to deter children from doing it, they would say... It's the same logic as we say, don't cut your fingernails at night, right?
Yeah.
But then think about it, or cut your hair. But then if you think about it, way back when there was no electricity, there was no power. It
was dangerous.
You could, if you're cutting your fingernails, there's also like you don't know where your fingernails drop. You don't know, it could go in people's food. It could be thing or your hair. So it's sort of, these were more like they needed anecdotes and I think like stories in order to deter people from doing certain behaviors. But now when you think about it, why can't you cut your nails at night? You've got light.
Right.
Okay. How to get a girlfriend?
What you do is, firstly, you go to a bar.
Oh God!
And use one of these pickup lines we just used.
That too. You go to a bar. If you see a girl that you like, don't be a douchebag. Yeah, don't be an asshole.
I'll tell you one thing. Speaking of how to get a girlfriend, I think with our
slide into DMs.
Yes. So
that's
how
creepy
to slide into DMs.
As somebody who used to slide into DMs, I got to tell you, it's creepy as shit now when you think about it.
You have to be creative, You have to be creative. You have to either react to their story.
I know a great way to slide into DMs. All right, so
enlighten us.
All right, what you do is
okay.
If you've never talked to the girl, right?
Yes.
You have that GIF function.
Yeah.
To when you text, right? Yeah. So you get on that and you look for the word
What's up?
Stephen Curry.
Okay.
Right, and there's a specific GIF of him like he's shooting. Right,
so you're shooting a shot.
Right, so you're shooting, right? Yeah. It's like that, and you send that, and you're like, did it go in? Now the girl will probably be like, no, right?
Okay.
And then you respond with trick question. Steph Curry never misses.
I like that one.
I don't know that for the.
I got one where I sent a picture of a Titanic, poster. Okay, and the girl always what was that? Oh, sorry, I was just trying to break the ice.
You could do what I did.
I like my idea more. I'm not saying it's bad, but
There's another one where you send a picture of Spider-Man swinging. Okay, another one when he's landing, and then you put the asterisk and you say lands in DMs.
Right now, just to be clear. I don't have a girlfriend.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever had one.
You never had a girlfriend?
I like that he says, I don't think I've ever had one.
Okay.
Alright, I'm pretty sure I've never had one.
So Dawa's advice, just zip it.
But here's the best part, alright? I have seen really good looking women throw themselves at Dawa.
I don't see it.
How do you see it?
Trust me, I've seen it though.
How did you see it?
I have
Secondary
seen
vision.
How have you seen it? You charade.
Oh no, I'm gonna get
Man.
totally like picked on now.
No, though I've seen like when I say I've seen, I don't mean just like
You
physically
know
see.
you don't you know I don't pick up on these things.
Yeah, but that's one thing. That's
Are you
one
not
of
good at
the.
reading signals?
Oh man, I'll
Dawa
tell you
is
this.
horrible at social
Yo,
cues.
I'll tell you. Here's a really short one. There's this one time where like I met
I
this,
describe him as the real life. What's his name? Sheldon Cooper.
Okay.
So like there was this girl. I met her at a bus stop, right?
At a
We
bus
kinda
stop?
met- yeah, we kind of knew each other from like a small interaction. She's like, "Hi." I was like, "Oh, hi. What are you doing here?" She's like, "Oh, I'm just like going for lunch." I was like, "Oh yeah, me too." It's like, "Okay, well, where are you headed?" I was like, "Oh, I'm headed to this place." And she's like, "Oh, well, I'm headed to this place." And I was like, all right. Well, okay,
Bye.
I'm gonna go. She's like, "Do you wanna come with me?" And in the back of my head, I was like, "Man, I've been craving this like tea momo and beef shapta for a while now. I really want it." And I was like, nothing gonna stop me from getting that. So I was like, "No, bye now." And then I went.
But now, in retrospect, in
Well,
hindsight-
obviously,
in
I'm like,
hindsight-
"Oh, I see what was happening."
Well,
Well, I'm just saying-
we can't assume that.
Yeah,
either.
so for
she could have
whoever-
just been being polite
Very
and being like,
polite,
"You
like-
want to come along as well."
Oh no, no.
But
I
there
know-
have been cases where I have seen
on
like legit women like sit on his lap, and I've been like, "Do you not see the signals that this woman is giving you? Like she's flirting with you," and then Dawa goes, "We're just friends."
we're clear. I mean,
Maybe he's not attracted to them then. Maybe that's why.
okay. Also, the reason I bring up that example is because we had a mutual friend come up to me like months later after this person went back to wherever she came from. Like, "Oh, Dawa, she was like really sad when you didn't like take her up on her offer." I said, like, "What offer?" It's like, she was asking you. I was like, "What?"
When?
That time at the bus stop.
Oh,
Apparently that was her
Okay,
attempt.
but then-
I was like,
okay.
I don't know.
But were you attracted to her?
yeah, she was cute, but that beef shapta, man.
That was a man.
Priorities.
That must be some badass beach shot. How was it though? How was
Yo,
the
it's
shot,
so
Is
good.
it the one where I think you're saying it is?
What? Burger Point? Oh, by the way, Burger Point sponsor us. Hashtag.
If not, at least give us some free
Wait, do
burgers.
you have
Damn it,
one? What? Do you have a girlfriend or whatever?
or whatever. He's got one. It's locked up in his sex slave,
yeah.
sex dungeon. I mean.
no more questions, Kinley. No more.
Or is it like a body pillow?
Yeah.
Like with that 2D anime girl printed on it. Like,
lotion on its skin. What?
Like, oh, Mizuki.
on its skin.
Like,
it
Sai going
rubs
like,
it all
Mizuki-chan. Like every night, Sai like hugging his body pillow. Like, "Oh, Mizuki-chan, you'll never betray me. 2D girls are superior."
Oh, gee. That got dark a bit. But actually, you know what?
Wait,
I think there
wait.
are-
We just need to set the record straight. Do you have a girlfriend?
I'm in an entanglement.
All right. What about you?
I'm
You
single.
got
I'm
one. Oh yeah,
single.
you're even
I
married.
have a wife.
He's a
All
wife.
right.
He's a
So
wife.
remember, to whoever asked this question, you just got the advice of a
Two people
person
who are single.
who's in a very complicated mess. as
No,
it
I'm
seems like.
seeing. I'm
Okay,
seeing
you're in
people.
some sort
people.
of.
I'm seeing people. I'm not in
Okay,
a
seeing
he's-
people.
relationship.
Okay.
All right, he's
Yeah.
creating some sort of like mess that will unfold at a later date. And
Thanks. Thanks for the foreshadowing.
I-
Foreshadowing.
well,
Bad reading signals.
I just suck at it, but take our advice.
And Kinley is a happily married man. So Kinley is the best person to give this advice.
No, it's not. He has like if he told you the story and he didn't tell you the outcome, you would think it would have never worked out.
Yeah,
Yes.
the way I ended up courting and getting married.
But we've already mentioned it before in the pod.
I just gave you all like.
Oh, the first
literally-
date?
Yeah, I just gave you all the first date. I
Okay,
didn't-
let's go. Okay,
Oh no,
let-
we're good now. We're not
let's
discussing
let's
that
re- let's
anymore.
recap. Okay, Kinley took his current wife onto a date at 6 a.m. to watch Kick-Ass because it was cheap, and then she wanted to pee badly in the car, and then she peed not in the car, but it took the whole taxi ride. And then what happened? What was the courting process? What do you think attracted her to you? Because we know that you were attracted to her initially.
Didn't you like stalk her for a whole year?
What the fuck?
Yeah. Didn't you like look past her bedroom
like,
window.
the lesson.
So I think it's here's the thing.
No, the lesson
No.
I've learned is persistence.
Mine was persistence. I sort of beat her into submission.
Yeah, it was
So
like
she was not into
restraining
you?
No, she,
orders.
I
was
don't know
not
if she was into me initially, but the thing was,
He made
I
damn
sort
sure.
of made sure that I was a presence in her life.
Okay, good.
Because we were neighbors, right?
Yes.
So I used to show up at her place for lunch because her roommates were friends of mine as well.
So use that as a
I
good
just,
excuse, yeah.
used to make sure that thing, and I just made sure that she saw a lot of me and that
You were
we
part of her,
spoke
yeah.
and she got to know me quite a lot.
Damn.
I didn't do the whole like act cool, like one date and then like talk to them like a little bit over the phone here and there. I was like, I didn't do that. To a certain degree, actually, to the most degree, it is a very creepy thing that I did. But yeah, it worked. And I'm not saying that you have to be creepy too, but I wasn't creepy in the sense like I didn't like watch her sleep and things. But I did make an attempt to get to know her and
To be part of her
to
life.
be a part
You
of her
played the
life.
long game.
You play the long game.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, she was actually, I think she was sort of interested in someone else. But then
Ooh,
I
shit.
sort of,
Second lead syndrome.
yeah.
K-pop drama, K-pop fans, you know what I'm talking about.
But then I sort of like I said, I beat her into submission. Like,
She puts the lotion on her skin.
I didn't do anything like that. But
Stockholm syndrome.
I don't know, like I just spent a lot of time with her, and I genuinely wanted to be a part of her life, I suppose.
Okay.
Alright, I mean, it still sounds like we could have gone wrong at any moment.
No, that's what. Like, if you tell this to anyone else, like,
probably
it
wouldn't have, you
it
know.
sounds creepy as shit. But hey, this is what happens. I think that's the perks of being neighbors.
Isn't there a last question?
I mean, let's be honest. If
question is
if
relevant.
either of you
I'll get
were
to
interested in somebody,
Yeah.
and it just happened that the stars aligned that they were your neighbor,
Yeah.
and that their roommates were your friends, would you not make an attempt
Of course,
to always?
of course. Like, I get what you're saying.
I don't know. I'll probably ask questions like, "Hey, baby, you like raccoons?" That's my idea of flirting.
Okay. Well, in your defense, I do like raccoons.
Yes.
I think they're cute.
Do you know how the easiest way I've gotten a girlfriend? I went to Instagram.
Beat her over the head with a club.
Apart from that.
Oh, does this smell like morphine?
Yes. No, chloro.
Can you spell this chloroform for me?
Yeah, does this smell like chloroform?
I went to an Instagram page with this girl and I wrote SUP. S-U-P. 1 week later.
That's it.
That was it.
Wait, so she waited a
Hashtag
week.
looks go say. Looks.
Wait,
Height helps.
wait, you just said sup and she
Yeah.
texted you a week later.
No, so a week later I girlfriend.
No, see, this is what we.
You're skipping over like so much. Like
Yeah,
what
of
else
course, a lot of
happened?
conversation matters.
What, you gave chocolates, you bought flowers,
Nah,
like.
nah. My speech game was fire, man.
Oh, I guess what? Because you're a funny guy and you're just like.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're like turning up
I
the
think
charm
I
to
can
11.
hold a conversation which is not boring. I would not say that I'm very charming. I can make a conversation.
Was
which
she
is not boring.
interesting or were you just like, yeah, like, wow, so introspective, man? Like, you're
I
so
don't know.
smart.
I just,
You-
I don't know.
like,
Just
you're
stop.
not like other girls, baby.
Nah, I know. I can never give this line. I never give this line.
What?
I never give this line.
You never give it?
I never give this kind of lines. I always just ask them normal questions like,
Wow,
what do
you're
you
so
do? What do you
interesting,
like?
baby.
Oh, you like this? Okay. Or what do you like? Oh, okay, I like this too. Try to find some common ground. And if they're a little boring, then I'll.
Oh, I just realized, Sai, we haven't, besides Pushpa, we haven't had another female guest.
Yes,
on
we were
the show.
supposed to have someone this week,
Yeah, was
but
it,
they
like-
bailed,
was
and
it-
we
was
might
it-
get her some other time.
With your like diversity quota.
Diversity quota. There's no fucking diversity quota. I'm just bringing people
Yeah.
who can come. If people who can't come, they can't come. You know. But
But
I'll tell you one thing. If I have females,
that's what she said. Sorry, I know I missed it,
Of
but
course.
I had to.
If it comes, it comes.
if
okay.
it comes, okay. Basically, I think Bhutanese females. This is not to generalize, but then they don't.
It sounds
Talk
like a
as
generalization when you go Bhutanese females.
Okay, Bhutanese girls don't.
It
I'm not
still
really-
doesn't make-
I'm not, okay. This is generalizing. Okay, this is generalizing. Okay.
Wait, how many girlfriends have you had?
3.
Okay, fine.
Sorry, this
Make
is
a
not-
generalization.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the are not very what you call outspoken.
Okay.
Well, not all of them. I think there are some who are.
As I'm saying, that's like not all, but then most of the Bhutanese girls are not very outspoken. And if you have a pod and if they don't talk too much, then it kind of gets a little boring. But I'm not saying that there's no people. I'm going to bring in guests which are girls, a lot of girls I haven't planned, and then I know they can but they won't shut up. So there are people like that also. But generally speaking, I think the Bhutanese girls are not very outspoken. And if I'm wrong, please tell me.
God,
I'm
I
wrong.
just see that feminists of Bhutan page.
Sai,
Feminists of Bhutan, please
Sai,
rejoice.
They put us on blast.
Sai, you're walking this line.
I'm walking this line now.
like-
Look, that's just my opinion. Of course, Kinley disagrees, and maybe Dao disagrees too. But that's just my opinion.
I got no leg to stand on. I wouldn't know.
You have no leg to stand on. You wouldn't. No.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't get it because, like, like wooden,
Wooden
sounds
sounds
like
like a
wooden,
wooden.
which is like, like
What
wooden,
your
like
legs are made
wood,
of.
Like
Okay,
I have this video on my Instagram about talking to a girl, and all she says is, I don't know, you know, and that was based on a true story. I was interested in this one girl, and then we went on a date after a lot of pursuit, and then when we went on the date, she wouldn't speak shit, man. I was like, yeah, what
that's
do you
your
like?
fault. You gotta like turn up the charm. You gotta like find what makes her tick.
It went to 100. It was not working.
But maybe you needed like
Yeah,
1100.
Maybe it was me. Maybe it was me.
You need to push it to 1100.
Yeah, no. But it's, I don't know, maybe in my experience, I feel like, especially in school days, the
Maybe
girls
maybe you don't
talk
got
much.
as much game as you think.
Maybe I don't have game, man. I don't have game. I just have conversation. I can hold not a boring conversation, and if that is game, so be it.
Wow.
And with that in mind, what's the next thing we're talking about?
That's
That
what
was
I-
going to segue into something.
It's like, what do you want to segue to?
Oh, wait. So as a comedian, right?
A comedian.
We are not comedians. I'm sorry.
We are amateur comedians. I think we have to say that word.
We are below amateur.
We comede.
We are
comede.
primordials.
This is a comedy podcast.
As a man that has unintentionally created for himself a reputation as being somewhat of an online
Funny
figure
person.
for comedy,
Okay.
which some people may misconstrue
Yes.
as you being a comedian because
Okay.
you yourself do not label yourself as a comedian,
Okay.
right?
I
Now,
see.
After all,
I like to put this. I like to be called as a content creator or video creator. So that's my terminology that I use for myself.
So, as a content creator that primarily seems to make comedy
Content.
comedy content,
Yes.
to such a degree that most people think you are a comedian
Okay.
online,
Okay.
right?
Yes. What's the
Regardless of what
Okay,
you
what is the
identify yourself-
question?
I'm sorry, you making me like become a lawyer because otherwise you just keep interjecting and you go
Okay,
like,
sorry.
I actually am like this and that, but
Okay.
like not really that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Alright,
I
so
get what
after
you
all,
mean.
okay, great.
So what's
So you as a comedian,
yes.
That event to beating around.
you want me to start again?
Okay. Now I'm good.
Right, so you as a comedian, right?
Yes.
Do you ever have to be mindful of the jokes you make? Like, do you ever feel yourself like
sometimes-
holding back?
sometimes.
for the sake of society, because you know,
sometimes you
your
have
bars,
to have,
your
you
bars are too wild.
Sometimes you do think, like when I make a joke, I like, oh shit, maybe that'll be, misconstrued the wrong way. Especially when I'm drunk. When I'm drunk, I say a lot of things which are
Inappropriate.
very inappropriate.
I say
very
inappropriate
offensive.
things when I'm sober. I don't even need to be drunk, and it is. I don't know. I personally love saying really dark jokes, but not to everyone, of course, but
Yeah.
within my own friend group.
Yes, that's what I feel also.
And there are some times that I actually enjoy that awkward silence that comes from it, because I'll be the only one who'll be laughing at how dark and inappropriate it is, and everyone else is like, that's a little fucked up. And I sort of have this, I enjoy that uncomfortable silence to a certain extent.
For me, when I make a joke, I think 90% of the time people can find it funny, and then there's 10% of the time where really uptight people who get offended.
Are there
So that 10% chance of that happening, I take that. I take the 10%.
so that's your margin of error.
That's my
like,
margin of error. 10% of the time people are going to not have a good time.
Like
Because-
a car manufacturing plant. Yeah, 10% of our cars, they're gonna be shit.
Yeah, because the people who don't like my jokes will not hear it. They won't watch my videos. So the people who do like it, they'll enjoy it. So there's a audience.
Maybe that's a good thing to ask then. How did did you have to build up an immunity towards negative comments?
I don't have negative comments. I'm not lying. I have not received any hate or negativity.
No one's been like, your jokes suck. you lame."
My sister makes me. She's my biggest hater.
My sister, that's not the same. I mean, like, I bully I wouldn't say.
I once had this kind of this Tell Non Meal or something. Do you remember this app where people can send anonymous feedback? So I just kept it just to see if anyone hated me. And then surprisingly, I was very happy to hear like 90%, like I said, was positive.
Right, 90%.
And then just like 1-2 comments were saying like about my style, about my comedy. They were saying like I wear, I dress like a 12-year-old or something like that. Something like that, I don't know.
That doesn't seem to be an attack on the comedy.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think my comedy is very niche because I don't find myself like the funniest person that I know.
Yeah,
I think
clearly.
Kinley is very funny. I think all the okay. Thanks for that jab out of nowhere. Okay.
He wasn't being sarcastic. That's just how he talks.
No, I get in a lot of trouble with like
Your tone.
yeah, like I say a lot of things in like deadpan.
Yeah.
Apparently, most people can't like see past it.
Yeah, but I think
Where I'm like, yeah, we should eat children. I mean,
Hey,
obviously, like we
children
shouldn't.
are supple and they are full of nutrients and they don't put up a fight.
No, it's like
I mean, you can
veal.
cannibalize children like it's so yummy.
It's like a ripe fruit.
Of course.
You don't even need a
It's fresh.
cook. Like a
Especially the
child.
cheeks. The
like
cheeks
a
are the most
child.
tender.
It's so like soft and supple. Their bones are weak, right? You don't even need to cook it. You could just like bite into it like a fruit.
nice baby ramen.
My nephew is just like, mwah.
Okay.
Rather, my nephew was very, mwah. And that probably turned away all parents. And they're like, oh my god, they eat children!
No, we support all children and their development.
Into healthy meals.
No. Into healthy meals for the prosperity of the country in the future.
You never know when when the zombie outbreak begins, and we might need to start eating the weak.
We start with the blind.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my
No,
god.
but then you all have to remember,
would be
I'm
so-
partially blind, so y'all can only eat my arms.
What?
It's
No.
half
I need legs to run.
No, we could just like abandon you when things go south. We'd be like, oh, Kinley, the zombies, they're that
Here's
way.
a question
go
that I've
that
always
way.
wanted to know. If a zombie, right? Let's say, if you
a
buy,
vampire bit a zombie?
no, that's I don't know. There's no blood.
Would the zombie become a vampire or the vampire become a
No,
zombie?
nothing would happen. You
Yeah,
know why?
because-
Why?
Well, a human is alive. A zombie is undead, right?
Yes.
That's why there's no blood.
So a zombie biting a human makes him undead. A vampire is also undead. So if a vampire bit a human, he also becomes undead, right? Now, if they're both undead, well, obviously nothing happens.
Oh, simple math.
You just become dead.
more dead.
Fun dead.
What was the question?
But what I'm saying is like, hypothetically, if a zombie outbreak did happen, and a zombie, let's say, bit somebody who was living with a disability, like blind, deaf, would that zombie do you think the zombie would have the same disability?
Do you think if a blind person became a zombie, would he?
Would the zombie be blind?
I think so. Why would he not be blind?
Because I feel like it would be a rewiring of it. Because usually when you
I can see now.
I'm just saying, like, unless it's like,
Thanks for clearing my blindness. Oh, I love human meat, but I can now see, so it's a win-win,
no,
lose-lose
because usually
scenario.
when you're but then again they say that when you which again doesn't make sense, because apparently when you're a zombie, according to a lot of the zombie logic, it's like your brain is completely dead,
Yeah.
except for the parts that take care of hunger and motor skills. So they've very specifically said in most if you go according to zombie logic, it's like hunger and motor skills, right?
Okay.
Then how the fuck can they see and smell if every other function except hunger and motor function?
You know what's another problem? Decomposition.
Yeah, no, there have been some movies that have addressed that, because there have been like, they show zombies that have over the years like deteriorated, and they just like these.
No, it would only take like 6 months for the brain to like collapse and like for them to just go like glook.
Yeah, zombies don't have a long lifespan in general.
They shouldn't.
But
Plus,
then we just have to survive for 6 months if that is the case.
yeah, like COVID. No, seriously, like what are they
No.
gonna do? Just like keep the door shut and wait for them to just like clook. Collapse.
Well, we've been,
That's the sound I think of, like if a
When-
zombie
when-
collapsed.
Wait, he's been alive for 5 months and 28 days. Just wait, 7 hours. I'll get you. Plunk.
Yeah, like a xylophone, you know.
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah, it's like a xylophone.
I got you now, zombie.
Yeah,
All I
think,
had to do was wait it out.
yeah, I think zombies sound like xylophones when they collapse. Yeah.
Oh shit! You said xylophone. I was thinking of an accordion for some
No.
reason.
How long have we been talking?
I think with that in mind, we've been talking for about an hour and a half.
I think
now.
now. You just want to end? I think we can talk for another hour and a half. I think we just.
I
feel we just started.
I think it becomes a nightmare for the editors.
Yeah.
Our
So,
engineers.
just
But
for
might
the-
I say though, I feel like the best conversation was like the 1 hour before this started.
What were we talking about?
Oh man, we were having like such deep, like intellectual discussions before, you know.
I
we
think,
were, like,
yeah, that's what I was saying, sis. I was like, save it for the pod when you get back.
but we couldn't resist it, you know.
It's okay, Dawa.
Yeah, but hey, people
Thanks for
need
coming.
to know.
We can always have you again.
We just enlighten people about zombie anatomy.
And how to
wait.
how
Yeah,
to get
yeah, wait.
bitches on
Wait.
the DMs.
Yeah, so for all your dating advice, you know where to come.
Dawa.
Not me, this
Dawa
guy or
the
this guy.
monotone.
Like
Dawa
this
the
guy, no,
monotone
like
guy.
if you want,
Don't come
like,
to me
no,
either, because
if
I
you-
don't know how mine
No,
even
look,
happened.
look. If you want a happy ending,
Go
you
to
know,
Bangkok.
just like like you want long-term happy ending.
Live in Bangkok.
We got Kinle to answer all your questions. If you want some problematic desperado lifestyle, we got this guy.
Desperado.
Yeah, and if you want to,
Completely suck.
if you want to,
Some dark-
let's skip
some
over me
darkness.
because I'm not here. You know, I'm just a guest.
If you want
So, yeah.
darkness, your old friend, you know, who to ask.
No, I'm just a guest, man. I ain't here. No, wait. Before we leave, I just have one last question.
Yes, some parting words.
What is this podcast about exactly?
Nothing. Does that satisfy your answer?
Yes.
Does that
Okay, well, like,
has
what's
that
the-
satiated your need?
No,
to
it
know?
doesn't. So wait, what are future plans?
Nothing.
We don't have any future plans.
So, so this is just like completely like off the cuff.
Yes.
Yes.
When I called Kinle to do this, I thought it was going to be the only episode you'll ever record.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then what happened?
Well, this happened. We got a set now.
This somehow ended up happening.
God, this-
Somehow we've maintained a small audience. So just
Damn.
for them,
We probably lost a few though today.
yeah, we asked them.
Man, this reminds me of Christianity because like my opinion has
We
always
can
been.
start a cult.
Yes.
Sai.
No, I've always thought like Christianity was like this gay fishing club that like kind of spun out of control and like really caught on.
Gay fishing club.
Think about it. It's kind of like weird, don't you
A
think?
gay fishing club.
Think
That's
about it.
Oddly specific.
Think about it. Have you not seen like those like like Renaissance paintings of those like biblical descriptions of like how there's like there's like 12 men or like there's like what 14 men in a room
And
no
we have lost
women
our
are
Christian
allowed.
subscription.
No, that's like no women are allowed. They meet up late at night. There's like curtains and shit, and they're like drinking wine and they're all giggling and talking. It's like no one else was there, And then they ate a lot of fish, and you look at the paintings.
A lot of fish.
They did. They always ate fish, and then was it? Oh yeah, you look at the paintings and the descriptions. The descriptions like yes, and Jesus' favorite always leaned on his shoulder as Jesus whispered to the rest of the men. Come on, that's kind of like kind of sensual. Yeah, like that. Like,
This
no, I
podcast-
mean, okay.
Whisper to me, Sai. We might start a cult like this.
Yeah, exactly. And now you'd preach. This guy would just like,
Wait. Kinle, let's go fishing.
Wait, I've got a response.
Yes.
Who's driving?
all right. Well, that's all I have to say.
Okay, but
But thanks for coming down.
not like we had, but I think this is officially banned in the Vatican now. This podcast.
Well,
I really couldn't care anymore. Like,
Oh, by
to
the
me
way-
personally, anyone like not that. Again, not the biggest fan of religion. So
Okay,
well, thank you for letting me waste everyone's time.
I think we always do that every week.
Oh wait, do I get to leave like a final message?
Yeah, of
Yes,
course.
you do.
Anything?
Oh.
Any plug? Anything you want to plug?
But before we do that, spell rhinoceros.
RHINO.
Mm-hmm.
Cerus.
The end. You know what it is.
SAURUS. So it's rhinoceros. No. Rhinoceros. Yeah. SAURUS.
Just say rhino. Everyone knows what a rhino is.
RHINO.
Rhinoceros.
So can I do a plug?
Yeah, sure.
Oh shit! I was so wrong.
CEROUS.
No.
What?
RHINOCEROS.
ROS. Oh shit, I thought it was ROUS. Oh, we were all wrong.
SciPod number 6, Rhinoceros.
I thought you were going to call it Dasho Devon.
Dasho Devon.
Dasho Devon.
We'll find out when this airs.
Anyway, what are we going to say on?
Oh, well,
Parting
I
words.
was just gonna say that. Oh, what's this? Yes, it's my phone with a transparent case and this nice sticker in the back.
Straight out of Bhutan.
Yes, stickers that I make.
You make stickers.
Yes.
So he's here
I need passive
out of
income.
all this conversation. He's here to plug a sticker.
Oh, what's this? I have multiple. What does that mean?
We're
You
getting
are
a
here
few.
to give us some
does
stickers.
that mean that
Oh,
Sai gets
we
one?
get a gift.
And that Kinle also gets one?
My
By the way,
real
this
gift is our friendship.
And by the way, I have a friend
I'd
whose
rather have your
IG handle is straight out of Bhutan, so maybe I'll give it to him.
Yeah, you could. I mean, well, see, the reason why I'm doing this plug is because if you too would like to be fashionable and represent where you are from,
Or have pop culture references.
like this,
Or get sued for font.
you too can get this. You too can get this waterproof, stain-proof, and durable sticker at Ambient Cafe.
Okay.
Right.
How much is it?
What?
How much is it?
Damn it! Like, don't. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
So right now it's technically free. Just go in.
So,
Ambient
I
and
think- no, I
take
think-
armfuls.
Nah, I think I. Nah, I think I'm gonna.
Please
charge.
mention
No, it's
when
a
you go to
reasonable
Ambient
price.
Cafe, I want some stickers. I heard on the podcast about that.
Yeah, and these guys will get a thing. What's it?
What?
Referral.
A
Referral
referral
code?
code.
No, referral.
Promo code.
You know, like when you click on a link and then
Yeah, promo code.
Promo code.
and then the guy gets like a little bit of
A
money.
promo code.
No, a promo code is when you enter a number when you check.
Discount
out.
code.
No, it's like a
Incentive?
referral.
What is it?
Incentive.
Okay, you'll just get some money if you refer it to somebody.
Yeah,
else.
these guys will get some money if you buy my stickers over there. So you know.
What? Is this our first sponsor?
Seems like it. Straight out of Bhutan.
Yes, straight out of Bhutan, first sponsor, official sponsor of the
Okay.
Sai podcast.
Yay!
Yep.
All right, and with that, I think we've been yammering a bit too much.
Okay, so Dawa, how can if anyone wants to reach out to you, how can they? If you want anyone to reach out to you,
Well, if you want, there's let's see, there's you can reach me on Instagram.
at
Whoops.
you just picked up a phone call. Thanks.
Who is Dawa Penstroke on Instagram at Dawa Penstroke. Penstroke is one word.
Right now, hold on. I like to leave nothing to chance, so I'm just gonna show this to the camera real quick. Yeah, so,
Plugging.
like,
He's the
right
first
there.
proper
right
plugger.
there. You follow me right there. I'm a businessman. Damn it.
Okay, and please subscribe to Junor and at
you
Junor.
can-
Yeah, Junor is right there. It's right here. See?
Yeah.
Right here. And what do you call? Please, if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcast, please also subscribe there. And if you can also follow us on Instagram at Kinlepinso,
KINPHYN.
and me at Song Sai, and also Dawa Penstroke. And if you want to follow Norla as well, Norla is also a part-time rapper. He goes by Young D.
And he's called Norla Jif. NORLHA.GIF.
Norla Jiffy. And with that being said, no, we gotta plug one good thing, Kinle. Samu is finally out
Yes.
on App Store.
On the iPhone App Store.
And
Apple
as well
App
as
Store,
the
yes.
browser, and Getube is live to stream, so please check it out if you haven't already. And
And please direct all your unconstructive criticism to ican'ttakeajoke@gmail.com.
yes, thank you. And with that being said, thanks for watching. See you all next week.
Mia Khalifa!
Till the next episode. No, stop it with the Mia Khalifa.